Hello, welcome back. We are playing Twilight 2000. So this is our 6th session, I think. Session 6. Last session was quite short. We left our team after having a bit of a fractious discussion, i.e. a bit of an argument with myself, where I actually did get quite peeved with Doc. I was actually, which is weird because it's me. And then we went down to, staff was going to take Jane down to look at our Ostrezov. And so then I said I was going to use the tables in the referee's manual for generating a site, which I did do, and I'll go through those in a second. So our team doesn't know this yet, so hold on, I will tell you what page this is in the referee's manual. So this is from page 99 in the referee's manual, scenario site generator. So I went through those tables. What I rolled was pristine. So I wondered why, with no war there. And then I rolled military soldiers and Soviet. So it rolled 300 population, but I think probably there would be more than that because, well, as I said, I think from last one in 2006, there was something like 14,000. I also printed out, hold on, I'll show you, see if you can see in this. So this is a map of it. I'll see if I can get the PDF of that map into the comments. Yes, so I don't think 300 population, so there's probably around 1,000 population. So then we also randomly word the element words, statue, windy, mural, graves, and besieged. So what I was thinking is the village of Ostrezov, as we can see in this map here, is reasonably pristine, which is why a whole group of soldiers, Soviet soldiers who have gone rogue, have moved in and basically taken over. They want to construct the captain in charge of the company. So a company, I think I looked it up, it was about 100 men. I'm thinking they're probably around, so reduced, so maybe a quarter of strength because they've left, basically. They've gone marauder, they've gone rogue. So there's probably around 30 men around in the city, holding the city captive. Maybe 300, 600 people there. So we have graves. So maybe there was quite a few executions. And so around the outsides, there'll be some graves that will be seen and they're besieged. What else? Oh, I rolled unexpected find. And the elements for that was enervated. I can't say the words, but it means drained of energy. Decisive, marauder, and old ID. So maybe there's an old tank with no fuel left in the middle of the town, and they're using that as a strengthen point. So that is the village of Ostrezov, where Staff and Jane will voyage towards, but we will rejoin them whilst it's now. So I was double checking. It's day. Was the day shift was when they came across and they did a forced march and they came across the ambush. So we now would be in our evening shift. Let's move this. So for the evening shift, first off, I was thinking that we would be going, and I think I voiced it as though Staff would be saying, let's go down now. But based on the fact this evening shift, probably Staff go, look, all right, Jane, drop your gear, mate, love, because there's no point in us going there. It's getting dark. The old Doc's going to need a camp, and he's bollocks at making camps. So if I can do that, can you see if you can get some kit? Because chances are we're going to go and do a night recce of the village, make sure everything is kosher. I mean, if it's dead, we can go in and see if there's anything there and do some scavenging. Or we can see what's going down and then we can assess the situation. But we'll do that as a night recce, which means you need to get some kit, I'll get him a camp together, and then once it starts getting dark, we'll go down. Because it's going to take us a march to hoof it down there. And then once we're there, we can have a look around and see what we find, and then we can come back and report back, and then we can decide whether we're going to just take them in or I don't know. But if there's any risk involved here, mate, we're off. We are not going to die for these two, all right? There's no point. So it's evening shift. So we'll roll our d6, see what the weather's like. 3, weather's the same. What was the weather last time? It was, so that was clear. I think it just stayed clear, which means it's still clear. I didn't write it down. That was a bit silly. So we're going to start with a clear. So I think Jane will try and sleep. I mean, it does mean we don't have anyone keeping watch, but that is what it is. I mean, Doc could keep watch, but Doc would be trying to look after these people, which, though it's not a thing, I would think. I mean, if we've got, what's it called? When you're trying to take things apart, or camping or fishing, all these sort of things is a thing, cooking, then Doc is tending to these 2 sick people because he's trying to keep them alive. So I'm going to we'll call that tending. We'll give Doc a medical roll for each of them, and if it succeeds, we'll say that they heal one point, but they're not going to come round until they're completely empty. Until they've got all of their health back. We'll say they're not compass until they've got all their health back, and we'll give them, I don't know, we'll give. So one of them has. So this is a minimum. We'll do. So where 6 is the max. We'll do 4 plus a D2. So one has got 5. So both of them have got 5 boxes. So they need to get 5 healings done, and then they'll be back. So tending and staff is going to set camp, because that will mean that their healing can be better and Doc might be secured, because he's useless. He's useless, to tell you. So Jane is going to sleep. Now for Jane to sleep, because camp isn't set yet, she needs to make a stamina roll, because I've remembered that this time. So Jane's stamina is a D6, and her strength is a D10. So we have a D10 and a D6. She got double hits, so she's out like a light. She's completely sparko. Someone throws a grenade into the camp, and she just rolls over and snores. I know someone like that. Then we have staff setting camp, which is a D12, and that's survival, isn't it? A D8. 2 hits for the camp, so it's a 2-hit camp, and again he will try and secure the camp and make sure it's hard to see, which is D12, D10. 1 hit, so 1 hit's enough, so it is a hidden camp. Hidden, 1 hit. And then Doc is going to spend the evening tending to the 2 sick soldiers, who I guess they'd know their names based on dog tags. So we'll roll. Well, I'll do Doc's roll, and then we will roll up who these are, because I didn't do that last time. It's medical age, which is D12 and a D10. We can't use. So we could use. Oh look here, combat medic. I don't think we used that last turn. We did use the surgery kit, which gives, I think it was a +1, and he also has got, so I'm going to give him combat medic, which gives a +1. I think it was both D12 to D12 anyway, which gives him D12 D12. A 1 hit, so one of them recovers 1, and 2 hits, so one of them recovers. So we'll only say they recover 1, so both recover. Both get +1 hit points. So now they're on -4 hit points. We'll say they're -4 hit points each. HP each. Okay. What do we have? And then we have our encounter. So no one is keeping watch during this period of time, which supposedly. So if we are saying, okay, if we're saying that village has is besieged, then they would be sending out patrols. Maybe it's the patrols which attack the ambush. So what do we have? We have Oh, that's new. We've actually got a new one for once. So that's ground zero. It's a road and it's a night or day. So we're although we are on a road, we're not actually travelling. So we're not going to encounter this anyway. We've got crater from a nuclear strike. Oh, wow. Crater from a nuclear strike. 46 times 10 meters wide. Damn. And 1/5 as deep. Pond of greenish water in the bottom. Let's not go drinking. An area twice as wide as the crater is radioactive, inflicting 1 rad per stretch. To pass, the vehicle needs to go off-road and lose 1 hex of movement in the shift before it can continue. Okay, well, we don't get that anyway. But that was good to have a new one. Okay. So nothing happens during that. Jane gets to have some sleep. Did we do sleeping in the morning before moving off? Yes, staff slept in the morning. So staff slept this morning, which is good. That means both of them have had sleep during the shift. And so in the night shift, Doc will sleep. And they both have sleep. So I guess this is where we would eat as well. We will eat and drink. We have, so staff will consume 1 of his food, and then we'll have to equip ourselves to move on. Doc is going to consume 1 of his food, and I will consume another 1 of the food, so 2 food where he will feed our 2 injured, and we've got a water for staff, a water for Doc, and then Jane has 1 food, 1 water consumed. Okay. Names. Oh, I know. We will use the Patreons. There's a list of patrons, of Kickstarters at the back of it. If I'd ever do a Patreon, I could use your names for characters. That would be quite cool. So let's, I don't know, let's go. What have we got? Jack. So we have Jack Okumra. Jack Okumra. So Jack Okumra, if you ever watch this, thank you for backing 4th edition Twilight 2000. And we also have Harrison Bolt. That's a great name. Harrison Bot, rather. So Harrison Bot and Jack Akuma. Thank you very much for kickstarting this. Well done. Okay, those are the 2 soldiers who were injured. So they're both healing by 1. We did that. So that's the end of that shift. So now we're on to the night shift. So, all right, Doc. Now, don't balls this up. Just keep your head down, get some kit, look after those 2 bleeders. If they die, don't cry, pick up your shit and come get us, all right? Now, we're going to hoof it down towards Ostresov, and we're going to go over butchers, all right? And then we'll be back in the morning. If we are later than midday, sod them, come get us, all right? Because we might be hurt and you can fix us up. So if we're not back here by midday, lad, you come get us. Because if you don't, I'm going to come get you. All right, Jane, leave your kit, leave your pack. We might need to move quite quick. Just grab your bedroll and we're going to go, okay? So they will. So Staff is carrying his sniper rifle, his pistol, some rounds for the rifle, some rounds for the pistol. He's got a med kit. He's got his binoculars. He's got some food, his flak jacket, a Kevlar helmet, water, and a shotgun. No reloads for the shotgun, so he's only got 5 rounds in the shotgun. He's going to leave. So what did I say he's got? So he has got water and food. So if they're out overnight, then they're going to tomorrow, he can actually eat. And he has got a med kit just in case. So he'll leave the radio behind, some ammunition for his pistol, some ammunition for his sniper rifle, some food and water. Jane has her assault rifle, one reload for the assault rifle, That's all she's got. One magazine for the assault rifle. There's 18 rounds used, so she's got 12 rounds in, and then she's got another 30 rounds, and that's it. So she needs to probably swap up to an AK-74. I said AK-47 last session. They're not. They're AK-74s. She's got 2 lots of food, med kit, flak jacket, Kevlar vest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's got 8 frag grenades, some water, and she's got a law, just in case. They're running short and stuff. We need to hit a supermarket. Oh, she's got loads of stress actually. She's got 3 lots of stress from that one. So she would have lost 1 stress from sleeping, but she's still on 2 stress. So she would have dropped 1 stress from sleeping. I think Doc was on 1 stress. Staff has still got 1 hit point now because he didn't rest and instead he did the camp. He still has got 1 hit point. No, so not 1 hit point left. He's got 1 hit point damage. So we would now be on the night shift. Let's just show you on the this map. So they are here. So what Jane and I'll have to get another one of these. Hold on, I'm going to get another sticky thing. We'll use this bluey grey one to be Staff and Jane. So their intention is to move tactically down into the surrounding areas around our stress off, maybe around in the green bits around here, which would coincide to this part here. So we have a stress off, but to the north. So I'm assuming this road here is this road here passing through. So if we're following this road down, this here, because if you can Google it, it looks quite nice, as I said. Like I said, it's a bit empty, but it's nice, picturesque. There's lots of farmland. So I'm guessing these are farms, and so we know that when we get up to this part, there's going to see loads of graves around all these parts, which is farmland and flatland. And they're going to come in down here to start having. So they'll probably circle around and maybe spend. I'm thinking. So we have in the things that you can do. There is exploring, which is investigating a scenario site and other location and interacting with NPCs must be done on foot. So we will have. So they would be marching down in the night shift. And then the morning shift, they will spend time exploring the surrounding area. And after this shift, we'll quickly do XP. I don't think they're going to get much. And then we'll spend time exploring here. So first, they need to make their way down there. Let's move that. So they're doing a march. So we've got the weather is the same. So it's a clear night. So sorry to segue, I haven't done one of these in ages, but a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago I think it was, I woke up, sometimes I wake up late at night, I think it's about 4 o'clock, and that day, sorry, and this is on mundane logistics, the bins were being collected, and I remembered I hadn't taken the bin out to be collected by the dustmen. So I went out, and it was a very clear night, it was 4 AM in the morning, very clear night. And so I was standing there, and because I'm quite interested by the whole UAP thing and the UFO thing that's going on, I looked up into the sky, and lo and behold, I saw a white glowy star thing moving quite a pace across the sky. Now, it could have been the International Space Station, where my girlfriend, who knows who she is, would looked it up, and that should have been moving east to west, but this was moving north to south. So, because I don't know what it was, I saw a UAP. It was a very clear night. Anyway, so on this clear night, Jane is marching. Staff will keep watch, and Doc is going to sleep back at camp. And for the rest of this bit, we'll assume Doc is looking after himself. So we've got Jane is marching down. Staff is keeping watch, which will be a D12. D10 is it is a D10. It is night time, isn't it? So it's moved. It would be starlight because it's a clear night starlight, but range, combat, and recon is at -2. So here's a -2, which means the 12 goes to a 10 and the 10 goes to an 8. So that just works out as D10, D8. 2 hits. Okay, so they march their way down. Encounter. So they're marching their way down towards a stress off. They will probably go via. They won't go via roads because I think staff's got a bit of an aversion to roads now. So they'll come cross land over here, which means they can only move 1 square unless they false march. They false marched earlier in the day. So I think if you keep false marching, I could probably look up in the rules, but I don't know if you'll be able to keep doing that because they might be a bit tired. Though the Paras did in the Falklands. So what do we have? We have another new one. Ooh, human's best friend. Road or wilderness, day or night, or station, so everything. Human's best friend. A wild dog starts following the PCs. If they attack them up, it will run off, but come back later. If the PCs treat the dog well, persuasion roll, it will become their loyal companion for the rest of its life and even defend them against attackers. Ooh, that's quite cool. So, alright, I'm going to roll empathy. Both of them have got the same empathy. No wonder Jane and Staff seem to like. Staff likes Jane. Jane has the same empathy as Staff does. So they've both got a D8. So we'll roll for Staff. A hit. All right. He likes dogs. And for Jane doesn't like dogs. Okay. So Staff quite likes dogs, and he got 2 hits on watch for the march. Okay. So as they're moving through the forest and the woods, Staff will stop them both for a second. Hold on. Something's following us. Yeah, something following us. It stopped. Get down there, Jane. Get down there. Get down there and keep watch, all right? And then Staff will come over to the other side and he will keep still and they'll both keep still for a bit. And then he'll hear the noise come forward. All right, lad, what are you doing? Oh, come here. What's that, Staff? It's a dog, isn't it? What are you doing, love? Oh, come on. Persuasion. Oh, Staff actually has persuasion of all things. Staff has a D6, a D8, D6 in persuasion. What did it say? Does it say anything about giving them food? It will run off but come back later. If the PCs treat the dog well... Alright, maybe Staff's going to break open some of his food. If he just gives him some bits and bobs out of his food, it'll still be enough. Maybe if there's some dried meats, or maybe he'll open up, I don't know, there's some beans and little sausages. Tin beans and little sausages. Me and my brother used to love those. And he'll open up some of that and he will attempt to give it to the dog, and the dog's... Look at that. Look at the poor little dog. Hey? Look at him. He's all skinny. Oh, poor mate, isn't he? Come here, mate. What's your name? Bones McCoy. That's your name, isn't it? It's McCoy. Come here, McCoy. Come on, mate. And so he's going to try and offer the dog some food. Come on, Bonesy. Come and have some beans. Do you want some beans? Staff? We're supposed to be going and looking at the town. Oh, shut up, Jane. Keep watch. So he's gonna give him some beans. I don't like people, but I like dogs. One hit. Okay, so the dogs are gonna come over and we'll eat some. Oh, they're gonna have a dog. They've got a dog companion. That's cool. Oh, what's the dog's name in Fallout? I can't remember. It's the dog from Fallout. It's going to be the dog from Fallout, but it's going to be called McCoy. Because he's all skin and bones. McCoy. Okay. Oh, cool. Staff will feed the dog some food, and the dog's gonna just sort of like brush his head up against Staff. Staff's gonna get all like all happy. I think it's on here. We could call it a wild. So basically, according to this, we have wild dog, wolf, bear, viper. A wild dog can be persuaded. Okay, hold on, and I'll be back. Hold on. Right, I've got some of these little index cards. I was using them for five parsecs from home to write stuff down. So we have McCoy. McCoy the dog. This is cool. It has a strength of. It's probably going to die in no time. Strength. It's got 2 hit capacity. Agility of C. Intelligence of D. He's a smart dog. EMP of D, and it has 2 hitboxes. It's got mobility of B, close combat of C, and a recon of A, and it does a bite, which is down 1. It can also move faster than they can. It can move 3. It has a movement of 3. Although our movement is slightly out, as someone pointed out, thank you very much, Don. Thank you very much, Don. But my measuring stick that I have been using is 8 inches, so it's almost equivalent to 1 hex in the combat terrain. So it works out all right, and it seemed to, you know, it flows. Okay, we've got a dog for now. That's pretty cool. So that's a bit of a distraction. So the dog will start to follow them. Human's best friend. Oh wow. Cool. Maybe they can be like Minecraft, and they can just have a whole load of dogs following them around. So that was the night shift, and they have now got down with McCoy. We've got our 2 intrepid adventurers have come down to Astrestov and are on the outer outskirts. So as they will be coming down, maybe into the hills down here, that's where they will start to see strange patches of what looks like graves. Oh, that's not looking good, is it, Jane? That looks like a field of graves to me. All right. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to move down slowly into the town, or around the outskirts of the town, and we'll just start to have a look around and see what we can see. So we will then have, so that would be all right, let's do this as we're coming to the morning of the 26th, and so that would mean that we were talking about the 26th, the 25th. So the 25th, we will go through and we will do our normal experience for everyone. So we have, first off, did you follow your moral code despite significant risks to yourself, or others, or the group? I think all of them followed their moral code. Well, let's see. So staff says killing the enemy is my job, so I'll do it. Can't save everyone, but you have to try it. Is Doc, so that's a yes, isn't it? And making the world a better place is the only way to save your soul is yes for Jane. So I don't think staff did. And then we have, did you risk or sacrifice something significant to realise your big dream? Staff is keep my team alive and get them home. I reckon yes, because the argument. Get home with some humanity left for Doc, yes. And keep your humanity and get to see home again, yes, for Jane. Did you travel through at least 1 hex? Yes, they all travel through multiple hexes. So we've got 2, 3 and 3. Did you overcome one or more dangerous event using violent or non-violent means? What did we have? Well, we had the ambush, and they just became the dog. So the encounter with the dog, they overcame that, and Doc healed those two as part of the ambush. So they all can have one for that. So we've got a 3, a 4, and a 4. Did you risk your life for the PC who is your buddy? None of them really risked their lives during the last game. So okay, give me a second and I will do some erasing and add some numbers up. So we have, currently we have staff on 6 experience to spend with a total of 16. Doc has 7 to spend and a total of 12. And Jane has 7 to spend and a total of 17. So I think based on the fact that they're in the middle of an operation, I'm not going to justify them spending XP, and we'll see what happens after this, and then they'll have more to spend, and maybe we can take some Ds up to Cs or some Cs up to Bs. That might be more useful at this point to get them a little bit more higher skilled in some things. So they've come down, they've actually seen the area, they've got McCoy with them, who's keeping quiet. So let's just shift this. So we have, what's the weather? So so we are in the, it's still night, we're in the early parts of dawn, and this is where they're going to start having a look around, and it's started to rain, which would actually play to their advantage, because it would make it harder for them to be spotted. So we have got Jane, and we have got staff, and we have got Doc, who's going to do attending in the morning. Jane and staff will do exploring. Maybe I'll do staff. Staff will have explore and watch, the same as if you're going to do a walk, a march, and a watch. 1 second, I'm just going to look up exploring. Right, well that was actually mysteriously quick because it doesn't explain exploring whatsoever. It just describes some scenario sites. So I think we will probably have, so we know the things about the place. So we know that there are some, so I'm going to write some keywords. There are some graves, there are Soviet soldiers, there is a company of them, which would mean counting them. There's the tank, and we will have, so we've got the graves, and we'll do the statue. That there's some kind of mural. So I said mural as well. Mural. I think mural is probably more realistic. He wants a statue, the captain, but no one in the town knows how to make a statue, so he's not getting a statue. Instead, he's getting a mural. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 5 things that they can, 5 pieces of information that we can have them moving around during the explore and try and acquire, and then they can make a decision what they want to do. So I've got all sorts of things playing around in my head. I've got like, you know, I think someone at some point mentioned, I think I also mentioned Kelly's Heroes. So I've got a Kelly's Heroes sort of vibe going on in my head. But I mean, I think we might need more than 3 people to do a Kelly's Heroes. So maybe they can go in and they can start talking to some and try and generate some partisan movement, which means they can get some firearms. Maybe they can steal some firearms or something and get in. Or maybe it might not be worth it for 3 of them to try and get, you know, what would it be? Liberate. To liberate the town of Ostressov. It might just have to bear on their conscience and they have to move on. So anyway, so we will have staff will roll his watch for the recon, which, so it's raining, so we've got D12, D10, which would drop to D10, D10, because it's raining. We have 1 hit. So that's good. And then we will do some exploring around the town. So we'll do some exploring and then we will flip over and counter at the end of doing some exploring and see what comes up. What do we have? Okay, so we will do, so they're together and they will do let's think, I think recon. Recon is intelligence based because it's more perception. So that would be recon. So they're going to make a recon roll. So Staff has got, he's got his binoculars, hasn't he? So he's got a +2 on the recon roll, which would go D12 and D12 +1, and it's raining, so that would take -1, so it's a D12, D12. So he is going to, because he's got binoculars, gives +2. So they will be making their way around the town, slowly attempting to go in and coming out. I think it's the one with the lowest, so the lowest recon is for being, okay, so we'll have Jane making the roll D10, D6 to see if they get spotted, but she doesn't have, and then they'll do a competing. That's what we'll do. First off, we will have a roll for what Staff sees, so we'll go through 5 times doing this. What Staff sees, and then Jane will roll a competing one against a standard Soviet soldier to see if they get spotted. So first off, Staff. So they definitely have seen the, well, we know they've seen the graves. So he now sees the Soviets. So whilst going around, it's like from the outer edges around, they come down just briefly in, and as they come in, they see that this area here has a guard post, has like a checkpoint, and there are some Soviet troops there. But we see that they're not properly in uniform. They're not in uniform. And they're carrying, oh no, let's be kind. If I was a DM, I would be kind. They're carrying M16s because they hit the ambush. So they are the ones who hit the ambush, and they're carrying M16s, not in uniform. And so Staff then deduces there's something dodgy going on here with the soldiers. Now we would have, the soldiers will do, so they've got a C, which is a D8, and their recon is a C. So they've got a D8, D8. It is raining, so it drops to a D8, D6. They get 1 hit. And Jane is, for her recon, what did I say it was? It's a D8, D8. D8, D8. They get 1, Jane gets 1 hit. So they don't get spotted when they see the Soviet soldiers. Then they're going to make their way further around, still trying to keep identification and come around and seeing what they can see. So we've got Staff gets 1 hit, which means they've started to count bodies of the Soviet soldiers. Oh, bloody hell. There's a fair few of them in there, Jane. I'm counting like, oh man, in like triple tens. There's definitely more than 20 of them in there. Oh man, like, I can think of some damage we can do, but I don't know if we can take this place down, mate. And then let's see if they get spotted. So we had, what did I say? D8, D6? Did I say D8, D6? I've got a memory like a sieve. Oh yeah, because of the rain, D8, D6. No hits. And then we've got Jane, which was a D8, D8, I remember that. 1 hit. So again, they're not spotted. So we can see that there's at least 20. So as going round, and as the morning is getting further in, we're seeing. All right, let's say that we also can see that the citizens or civilians, civs, are held hostage. So we're going to do 1980s depiction, a la Red Dawn. That the citizens of Astrasov are being pushed around. Stuff's being taken off of them, so we can see people coming back from like the bakers, and food is being just taken off them, and they're being just pushed around. And the soldiers are basically, we can see through the binoculars, so we can't hear it, but we can see them laughing whilst they're like bullying and accosting some of the women in the street. and there's basically they're mistreating the citizens that they're held hostage. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. So now they'll start to make their way, circling back around to this way, which down here we've got, oh yeah, down there you probably have a clear view of the city centre, of like the town centre. So they're coming around and they're going to start to, they get to a height. Maybe staff climbs a telegraph pole, something like that. This looks like a train station. Is that a train station? That's a train station, isn't it? There was that train, I think it was the first episode. We had the train that went past loaded with Soviet stuff. So viewing straight down, we'll come around and we'll have a look in and let's see what staff can see. So we've got our 2D12s with his binoculars. We've got one hit, so we can see that there's a T something. What are they called? Oh, I've got T72 in my head for some reason. Is that right? Have I thought of the right thing? Have I been too immersed in this stuff for too long? T72. Okay, T72 is a big tank. Let's do a smaller one. Let's do a T55. So it's a medium tank. It's a T55 medium tank. T55 was designated after World War II and adopted in the early 1960s. This series was the most widely produced tank in the world, with as many as 100,000 reported to have been built. Although replaced in frontline service by it has gone through numerous upgrades and can still be found in service with many second and third line units and Soviet allies, including former Warsaw. Yep, okay, that sounds right. So it's a T55 tank. I need to get some models for tanks. I haven't got any models for tanks. There's some Patrick Miniatures, who I got some miniatures from on Etsy, but they're really expensive. So if anyone knows any STLs that will print well on an FDM printer, for something like a T55 tank or some Jeeps, can you let me know so I can print some out and we can use them. So we've spotted it. It's a T55 tank in town. Does a tank need fuel to be able to rotate its turret? I will have to investigate that and look that up. Is that battery that does that? Or is that fuel? I would imagine it's battery. So the battery, from the sounds like from films and things of a tank rotating, it feels like it should be battery that rotates the turret. Okay, so I need to look that, because otherwise it's a fixed direction. But that's what they've spotted, a T55 tank. Oh, there's a tank. They've got a tank in the middle of the town. That's how comes they're holding the town. They've got a tank. Frick. Oh, mate, I don't know whether your law can take out a tank, mate. It should be able to do some damage to it, but you best get a good shot, because you've not got a second shot, have you? I've seen someone fire freaking multiple of them into a BTR, and a BTR is no way near as well armoured up as the T55. Oh, this is not looking good. Oh, God, I'm going to have to go back and have an argument with that bloody doctor mate of yours, aren't I? So now let's see if they get... So we've got the Soviets. So they get one hit. And what about our Jane? Jane gets one hit. Okay, so they're also not spotted in that part. So now they're going to circle all the way around to the top end of town. And maybe as they come in through this, but maybe they'll have a look around here. Somewhere around here, we'll have the mural is being done, because that's the final bit that we said they've got. And once they've got them, we'll say they've got a good map of the town that staff's been like doing in pen and paper, pencil and paper, to make sure that he's got a map of the town to take back. And we will then, how have we been going? That's just 50 minutes. It's probably just under 50 minutes, because I've cut some stuff out, obviously, when I was looking stuff up. But I'm going to keep the UAP thing in, and so we'll see if they can spot the people are being forced to paint a mural. So staff has got 3 hits. So they see a mural of a Soviet captain, and they can see that, and there's some of the citizens. The civilians are being forced at gunpoint to paint it. So even like first thing in the morning. And now let's see. They get no hits, so that's the Soviets get no hits. And Jane gets no hits. Alright, so they don't spot anything and Jane doesn't give herself away at this point, but that was their luck out. Okay, so that was the morning shift. Now they have thoroughly spent their shift, so 6 hours going around investigating everything, and now they will head back. So what was this? So now we're on a day shift. They are going to start the journey back up, back up to here. But first I need to roll for Doc's tending. See if he gets a success, then they can heal. D12. So D12, because we'll use his field medic. I'll give that one success. So they are now on a 3 and a 3. Okay, so they will be aiming to move back up to where that camp was. So they'll move back up there, that's the aim. So we have day. So it's still raining. We have Jane, staff, Doc. Doc is going to tend again. We have staff keeping watch. We have Jane on the march and then marching up. And McCoy is with them, has been following them around. So we will do staff's watch, which is D12 recon D10, +2 for the binoculars because he's taking his time, and then -1 for the rain, which is D12 D12. We have 1 hit. Then we have the doctor doing his tending, where we are also giving him D12 D12. Loads of hits. So they're sort of slowly being tended to. Is that no? Actually, they can't heal that fast, can they? That's just ludicrous. What is this? Dungeons and Dragons. So that's them marching back up. And then we need our encounter for our march. What have we been going? 53 minutes. Okay. All right. So what do we have? Okay, Hammer of God. Is this new? I think this is new. So this is road, wilderness, stationary, daytime, and this is daytime. Soviet military, number of PCs ×1. A Soviet recon unit ambushes the PCs. All right. Okay. So maybe they did spot Jane. Maybe somebody did spot Jane. And either we can have this as a patrol, or maybe it's a patrol and staff and Jane have wandered into a patrol, which is maybe they'd stopped for some morning break or to have a wee, and they're going to bump into them. So we've got a Soviet recon unit ambushes the PCs. One has a sniper rifle with 1 reload. The Soviets gets a +3 bonus to the opposed recon roll for the ambush. As soon as the Soviets spot the PCs, they call in artillery. No, I don't know if they've got access to artillery. I'm not going to do artillery. I don't think I would do that. So I would say we will have... Okay. So we'll start this. So let's start next game. We will start next game with... I'll set the table up right at the beginning of the game for a combat, because I don't want to go over an hour, and this will go over an hour if I do this. Okay, so first off, let's see. We'll do all the rolls to see if they. I mean, I think I've already decided that we're going to have a combat at the beginning of the next one. Maybe it'll be a 2-combat game. So they are. Where did I put that? Here it is. Soviet soldiers. Yeah, so it's a D8, D6, so D8, D6, plus 3 is a D8, D8, which is a D10, D10, isn't it? So they get a D10, D10. One hit. So we've got one hit versus staff's one hit. So normally I would say staff gets away with it, but I will say that they will both. So it's not an ambush. They are both going to surprise each other. So neither of them is going to get an ambush. We will just kick off. So we'll say that they came back mainly via road by accident or just slightly off the road. So we'll do a road and loads of trees because they're coming up through the trees. We'll have two ends and they will actually bump. So because they're moving through the trees and stuff, they're not really paying enough attention and they bump into each other, practically bump into each other. So we'll have them starting maybe 2 hexes apart. So two of these done apart, and then we'll see what happens, and we'll do so it'll be three of the Soviet troops versus Jane. And does an SVC, does that count? Does it say SVD? So that's what's that? That's the marksman's rifle, isn't it? All right, that will do. Okay, so we will begin next game. I'll have the table set up and we will do a skirmish as Staff, Jane and McCoy bump into a patrol of Soviets from Ostressov. So maybe one of them will have an M16 and then we can get with a reload. So they've all got a reload each. And maybe that will help Jane in the end. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I thank you for all of the comments that you've been making. Thank you for all the likes, particularly for these Twilight 2000 episodes. I do have some other games if you want to go and watch those. They're a bit different. I'm planning, there's an indie game called Entity, which has quite taken my fancy. I'm going to start doing that on a Thursday for a bit. At some point, we will, though we can keep continuing this, we'll see how far our team can get, but I do have Pirate Borg that I want to play as well. But yeah, so thank you very much to Free League Publishing for doing 4th edition again. Thank you for Jack Akamaru and Harrison Bott, as well as everybody else who kickstarted it. I didn't notice it. If I hadn't noticed it, I would have kickstarted it. And thank you to you for being here. Thank you for watching. Do like if you liked, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and comment if you'd like to comment, which would be awesome. And I will see you for a combat in the next game. Goodbye.